I do want to say this. I want to be on the record. Drake's going to be, he's on that R. Kelly tip.
You think so?
Drizzy Drake likes him young. He's going to get got in the next 5 years.
Guys, let's get in with the allegations. We're talking about the PDF files. Okay, the Chapedo-ness going on. We have some abuse, domestic violence. Hey guys, welcome back to Human Resource. So this is our continuation of the beef of Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Now, in our previous video, you guys said, well, you guys are not African American, so you can't relate to the culture. Did we ever say we are African American? No, we did not. You know, even though our dad is American, yes, but we kind of grew up here in Canada. But then we're African Canadians. So when some of you guys shared that Kendrick wasn't referring to his skin color when he said, how many more features do you finally feel that you're black enough? We know that. Yeah, he's talking about culturally you ain't black. And he's a poser. He's a poser in the culture, right? We know the Canadian culture. Yeah. And Drake is Canadian. But I want to mention this because I feel like we brushed upon it very gently in our previous video. When we talk about there's a huge difference between being a black American versus black Canadian. Yeah. When we talk about black Canadian, because that's who we are, Canada, you don't have emphasis on individualism, right? The whole culture and ethnicity, no. You had to kind of assimilate into the Canadian culture as an identity. And I want to specify specifically in the 90s, in the 80s, how things were in Canada. And when I mean, you know, Canadian culture as an identity, it was more proximity to white. I'll be honest. It was. Even then, First Nation, you know, their culture was not being shown a lot. It wasn't highlighted a lot. So, you know, we didn't get a lot of that one. But now a lot has changed. Yeah, there's an influx of immigrants, refugees. And now, with that, there's going to be a growth in other communities, right? And so now you're seeing emphasis on other people's culture and identity. So I understand Drake's upbringing in that sense. Yeah. And even then, like, I'm gonna say our blackness, is it similar to Drake's blackness? Well, nowadays, no, it's not, because we're older, we educated ourselves, especially in our backgrounds. Yeah. But at that time, you know, children of the 90s, 80s, early 2000s, no. Not really. Yeah. Clearly, there's so much nuances to this. So many things can be true at the same time. Yeah, and Lil Wayne said it best when he told Drake, keep it Canadian.
Tell him, don't change anything. Don't think because you're coming over here by me that you got to start rapping about the things I rap about. Don't do none of that. Please rap about your little TV show, whatever you want to rap about. Rap about girls. Do that. That's what you're good at. I was like, don't. It's only natural for you to come over and just think, you know, if I'm with Wayne, then I'm gonna rock like Wayne, you know. And so I rap about what I rap about, and you know, so that was one of the main things I had to tell him from the jump. Like, hey, don't change anything. Don't start singing about nobody. Don't start singing about the streets.
Yeah, talk about what you know. Yeah,
exactly. Like, keep it Canadian, man.
Keep it Canadian. the maple leaf and everything from his mentor. Okay, keep it Canadian. Rap what do you know, and don't act like something that you are not. So, but like he even said, keep it Canadian. Yeah. Like I feel like some like black Canadian rappers out there that are not like Drake, they're probably saying, yo, we have a lot to say. We didn't grow up like him. Come on now. Well, make your mark and don't join OVO. Yo, I was gonna say, do you think he silences? Yeah, 100%. He silenced upcoming artists. Huh? Does he Oprah them? Yeah. He's a gatekeeper from. He's the gatekeeper for anybody who wants to come out of Toronto. So he's going to stop that. Yeah, he's going to stop their bag. He's going to do that. Guys, let's get in with the allegations. So, within the verses of Family Matters, Drake reveals that, Kendrick Lamar, don't you put hands on your woman? On some Bobby-ish, I want to know what Whitney need all the puppy love was over in y'all late teens. When you put your hands on your girl, is that self-defense because she bigger than you? Your back is up against the curb. You digging for dirt, she be digging for proof. There is no evidence to it that Drake is saying that, oh, Kendrick Lamar, you put your hands on your woman. And the reality is, where's the evidence, Drake? So we're not going to speculate. We're not going to overreact about this whole thing. But the one thing I'm going to mention, Kendrick, you're not following your woman on Instagram. So what's going on? Wait, but does Jay-Z follow Beyonce? Yes, he does. Oh, yeah. And Rihanna? Yes, they both follow. Like, listen, these men are following their women and vice versa. But the reality is, Kendrick, you're not following your woman and she's not following him. Why did you gotta bring up Whitney Houston? Yeah. Leave her alone. Leave her to peace, please. Yeah. I like Whitney Houston. Now, in Family Matters, Drake makes another accusation pointing out that, yo, Kendrick, you're living a bachelor's life. What's going on here? So a broken family? Broken family. Well, we still don't know if that's truthful, right? I feel like he's just taking jabs at him, you know, trying to see what anything would stick, you know? Unverified sources. Why did you move to New York? Is it because you live in that bachelor life, proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife? I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening, right? Because we know the girls that you actually like, your darkest secrets are coming to light. There's some things that you just don't want to know.
I did not want to know.
Living a double life. These are all allegations, guys. We know that. But then again, like when you think about it, Drake, who are you to judge? You know what I mean? He doesn't come from a stable household. I'm talking about the one that he created. And he didn't even want to admit that he had a son until Pusha T had to expose that when he had a rap battle with him.
He's not in a place to say anything. That's the reality.
That's not looking good. Now let's talk about the allegation that got everybody shook. PDF files? Chapedo-ness?
Yeah.
The involvement of... These are allegations, but...
Is it correct?
Where do you draw the line? And then again, that's like Hollywood, celebrities, even the elites.
And I think we said that before. Like, we said this before.
We made videos
we
about that.
only know 10% of these guys' lives. So let's
And I feel
talk
like
about it.
because of this part of the beef, a lot of people start talking about it.
So Kendrick Lamar releases his diss track, Meet the Grams, where he talks to Sandra, Drake's mom, and says, your son is a sick man, okay? He has nympho fetishes, hates black women, and he has offender on a monthly allowance. Like, that got me shook.
And
I said,
he
"Ooh."
said that he's kind of like Weinstein.
It is
oh my
bad.
goodness.
And that was just in Meet the Grams, okay? In Not Like Us, he also talks about it a little bit more further.
Say, Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any B that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sis from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that gets your hand-me-down. Certified lover boy, certified PDF files. Trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor.
Yeah.
Chubbs?
It gets grimier and grimier. Now, there's a guy named Chubbs. Apparently, he facilitates.
He's his muscle.
It's his muscle, right? And listen, we don't know if these allegations are true, but there has been time where Drake's is associated with a younger individual, okay? A person in their teens.
Should we run that clip?
Your relationship with Drake. Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. I'm so excited.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
Now, at that time, she was 14, I think, when she first met him.
Wow.
And for people who don't know who's this is Millie Bobby Brown. She's the star of Stranger Things. She definitely started at the age of 9, I think, that show. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Apparently, she met up with Drake. Actually, there's a video about that. And you know what? Let's check it out.
To my dad and said, Drake loves the show. Come to his show tonight. And I was like, oh my goodness. And my dad, he was like, I don't know who Drake is. And I was like, are you joking me? He wants to see me? And I was like, okay, we're going. So I got my outfit prepared and I went there and he was such a fanboy and I was such a fangirl. And honestly, we text all the time now. He helps me with everything, like just a life lesson. He's amazing. He's a great human being. And we went to dinner afterwards and we had dinner the next day and then we met in Sydney.
I'm sorry. If anybody who has a sister, you wouldn't allow your sister to ever talk to a grown man in his, at that time, probably early 30s, and talking to a 14 or 15-year-old girl. Like, that does not make sense. And plus, she said, what did she say? We text all the time. We talk about boys. Why is a grown man talking to a young girl about boys?
Okay, well.
Of course, she's going to go to him and talk to him because he's Drake, right? He built this whole persona and this character for how many years, right? And the reality is no sane grown man is interested in being friends with a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, or whatever, 16, 17.
Underage girls.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to be honest about something. I've stopped listening to hip hop and rap music a long time ago. Because I feel like it's not the same anymore. They don't make it like they used to. But for anybody that's a hardcore Drake fan, you didn't know this stuff was going on? You didn't know this kind of friendships?
A grown man being friends with a child.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I went to high school between 2011 and 2015. In that time, and I went to a very rich, white, private high school.
Okay.
And during that time, I heard of girls or girl sisters going to Drake's house. We're in high school.
The
okay?
embassy?
And maybe they weren't freshmen, but still, you're still 16 to maybe 18-year-olds, but you're 16, 17 years old, going to this grown-ass man's house. If you look up his birth year and look up those years, he was between 27 and 29. He was 29 in 2015.
A grown man.
I know that there are a lot of people out there, maybe with some memories, that it's hard to look back on and be like, holy I was a child. And there was a power dynamic. And this is me being taken advantage of. But you guys need to step up, cancel Drake, and like just end it. Just
Like she said, it's a matter of time. Probably people are gonna say something. I don't know, but he really does have good lawyers. But listen, in one of Kendrick Lamar's verse, he did talk about the embassy and how he plays his house like it's a Tinder game or something like that. So the thing that I am shocked about is he responds to Kendrick Lamar with a diss track called "The Heart Part 6."
Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the ish I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some direct-ish, you rather grab your pen and misdirect-ish. My mom came over today and I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got MS'd. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this is the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was young girls, I promise I'd be arrested. I'm way too famous for this ish you suggested. Drake is not a name that you're gonna see on no S offenders list. Only F with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I'd never look twice to no teenager.
Now there's two things I want to talk about, and one part is the fact that he said that Kendrick was MS'd. Now, we already know that...
Allegedly, and it's not even him.
And it's not even him, it's his mom. But the fact that you had to bring that up in your lyrics, like, you're so out of touch and weird.
Hold on now.
Like, what was
in
the purpose?
Rap, is there even limits? Do people draw lines?
There
Do
should
you
be
have
limits.
boundaries?
No, there should be limits. And the fact that you had to use some guy, like, let's say if it was him, you're going to use his trauma against him? Like, that's weird, especially coming from a society where people are very empathetic and sensitive with these type of things. Now, for the second one, he mentions that he would never be on some type of list. Now, sweetheart, that's not how it works, especially the system that we have today. Especially you could pay a judge, you could pay a cop, okay? Or an investigator. What shocks me is you're not saying that you're not a PDF-phile. That's what it is. Or a Chapedo. You're saying that I'm not going to be on somebody's list.
Yeah.
Or some list. I think we all saw through P.Diddy and what he's going to go through soon, hopefully, that he has done so many crazy things. And it just caught up to him right now. And he didn't mention why.
Who brought up Millie Bobby Brown, though?
He mentioned maybe... he mentioned the young girl. I can't even say her name. Sorry. Maybe Millie Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown, yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown.
He brought it up.
Yeah. So what was the point of that? Nobody asked you that. That's the thing. Nobody asked you, but you still bring it up. Especially this whole track was trash. I'm sorry. My perspective, it wasn't great. I feel like what's called Family Matters was way better. Like, he did a good job on that. But with this one, you really didn't clear your case. I think he got nervous. Oh my God, there's probably some truth in this. And you know what? I just need to respond just to have it out of the way.
If I was Drake, okay, I would send a cease and desist letter to Kendrick. And I'd say, keep my name out of your...
And you know what? Drake is known for sending a cease and desist.
Oh, yeah, he's that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think in this case he's going to do it because he doesn't want to show that people that, oh, I'm guilty with, these allegations. And plus, if you're going to send somebody that, there's going to be a case, you have to investigate, and dirt needs to be revealed.
I wonder what their labels are thinking about and doing right now, because it looks like everything kind of stopped right now. Leave it. I'm not saying anything about this because it's so bad.
Drake does have a deal with Universal Music Group, and it's $400 million. And at this point, his money is being, compromised in this.
Does this hurt his popularity at all?
I feel like people are going to keep it away, like keep themselves away from his music for a bit. But I know how people are these days.
Yeah.
They're going to go back. I remember there's some videos online on TikTok. They were saying, you know what? Kendrick have a point. He really did a good job. He actually won this whole thing. But in the end of the day, Drake is the one who's bringing out the songs. He's bringing out the hits. He has the good bops and all that. So we're still going to listen to him.
And Kendrick goes back to hibernating.
Yeah, for 5 years until he makes another diss track or another,
Unless somebody else calls him out. Anyways. Yeah, that's our 2 cents.
Our review.
Is this going to change how I listen to music to them? No, I wasn't listening to them that much anyways. So
yeah, we were out in the beginning.
Yeah, that's not
but
really
we
kind
definitely
of music I'm
came
listening to
back
anymore.
because, and the reality is everybody has an opinion about this. Okay, not only us. Hopefully these allegations are not true. And if it is, I hope justice for those people.
Yeah. And then again, that's Hollywood, right? If you think about it, it's so messy and sticky. You know, I was stuck on Nicole Kidman's allegations for the longest.
Really?
Yeah, Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah. So you guys, on that note, please like and subscribe this video, and bye now.